Hello and welcome everyone. Today's episode is all about psychic powers. My name is Natalie Schlute. I'm your psychic success coach, and I'm here to help you manifest the most amazing life you can experience by following your intuition and being in true alignment with your higher self. So when it comes to psychic powers, what I'm going to be explaining in this episode is about how psychic powers work, what a psychic is doing when they're giving you a reading, some proper etiquette on how to utilize your psychic the best that you can, and also to really understand the ins and outs of what qualifies someone to be a good psychic. So what a psychic is doing when they're giving a prediction is they are raising their vibration to a level where they're tapping into the unseen spiritual world. In that realm, all time, space, dimensions kind of collide. So we can actually connect with guides, angels, loved ones that have passed on, and find information that is already out there. Because everything is energy, which means that everything is vibration, everything is a frequency. And when we can tap into different levels of higher vibration and frequency, we can actually receive information and messages, because time, space, reality is not what we see and experience in this 3D realm. We're in this human body to have a human experience, but you are actually an eternal soul. You have many lives. Their reincarnation is a real thing. And you can tap into different levels of awareness, different levels of guides, spirits, angels, and all of those things when you train yourself to do so. Having intuitive and psychic skills allows you the ability to project your own consciousness through your third eye, projecting your consciousness into someone else's energy field, into the unknown, right? Into the future, into the past, to be able to pick up information that can help people. I personally focus on utilizing this skill to help people heal and master their life. Often there are things that are holding us back, whether it's things in our earlier life, different traumas, maybe some beliefs and things that are getting in the way of you being your best self right now, of manifesting the things that you want to create in your life right now. There are also things in your past lives that might be burdening you now. You might have some phobias, some anxieties, or things that you don't understand where they originally came from, and it might be coming from past lives. And so one of the things that I love to work with people when it comes to helping coach them in the manifestation process in creating their best life is also doing past life regressions, where we pull up different past lives and work on healing those things so that you can show up as your best self in the here and now. When it comes to predictions, often the way it works is as if we are looking at a trajectory of something. So based off of your own energy field, based off of where you are on a vibrational level and the direction that you are currently headed in your life, we can actually utilize that and predict where you are going to be in the future, who might be coming into your life in the future, where your career might go, and what is coming forth for you. And so by being so connected into the spiritual realm, I have this ability, and so do other psychics and intuitives, to be able to project out in the future what might be coming for you. Keep in mind, future projections are always going to be based on probability. So even though if we look at physics, like if you took one of those physics classes in the past where, you know, someone throws a ball and depending on the angle and the speed and the trajectory, you can actually estimate exactly where it is going to land. This is how we shot a rocket and landed exactly on the moon and things like that. It's through this math equation. Well, that also works for you and where you're moving in your life. The difference is predictions for our own life are not as specific and exact as throwing a baseball and knowing exactly where it's going to land on the ground however many yards away. Although these predictions we can kind of estimate, we also have free will. So at any point on that trajectory, you can choose, oh, I'm gonna turn left, I'm gonna turn right. You know what, now that I know that that's where I'm gonna land, I'm gonna make some different decisions right now. I'm gonna choose to be more aware of my patterns and my habits so that I don't land where you think I'm going to land based off of this psychic prediction. So understand that when it comes up to predicting things in the future, you have free will. You are in control of your life. You have the power to change that. And often when we do a psychic prediction, people then now have that information and they make different choices. often they make better choices, which means outcomes are going to change. So if you've ever had a psychic reading and someone predicted something for you and then it didn't come true, just know that it's not necessarily that that psychic wasn't correct, because not everything is predestined. It's just based off of that trajectory. And if you make some big changes in your life, or even small changes, just choosing to be more self-aware of your own patterns, choosing to make different decisions that benefit you better, you can actually shift your future. And that's one thing that I love working with people, is helping them shift their future by looking at where they are now, healing the past, and choosing new outcomes for their future. Training people how to manifest better, how to draw in better things based off of where they are and where they want to go. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to psychic predictions is that sometimes there are energetic blocks. If you are not open to experiencing some of the information in the future that's coming for you, if you're not ready for it, or maybe it might be more than you can handle if you knew it now, often there's an energy block where you won't be able to receive that information. It won't come through the psychic. It won't come through for you in any kind of a reading. So just know that there are some things that we're just not meant to know. You will only receive information that might be helpful for you, that you might need to know in order to move your life in the right direction. And also, if you're just not open, maybe you want to know things, but then energetically, you're just not emotionally ready, and you're not letting, your psychic actually come into your energy field, and there's a little bit of a block, then you're going to be harder to read. So if you're interested in psychic readings, be sure that you're open and ready to receive whatever comes through for you. Often people are going to a psychic and getting a reading because they want something to change. They want to move forward in their life. They want something to be different, or they're hoping for a certain outcome and they want to learn how they can get there. And so be sure that you're aware of all of these things and opening yourself up to all of those possibilities for positive changes. If you're interested in working one-on-one with me so that we can work through some of your things so that you can manifest things faster into your life, be sure to fill out the information below. There's a link for my services for my one-on-one coaching. There are two different ways that we can receive psychic information as a psychic. And one is just by asking questions. So when you go to me or another psychic that you are working with, by asking specific questions, that opens the door. You are then out loud asking the universe, asking your guides, asking your angels for direction in a specific area of your life, whether it's health, whether it's relationships, whether it's your career, financial abundance. If you are asking the question, that opens the door for then the line of communication and energy to be able to receive that intuitive information. Another way that we can be triggered to receive psychic information is through something like a tarot card reading, because each of those cards is going to represent a window into your soul, a window into your energy field. And so that can trigger psychic information as well. I highly recommend that when you show up to a psychic session, that you don't just ask the psychic, tell me something. It's not really proper etiquette to do that. And on top of that, as a psychic, when someone says that to me, I'm gonna be very honest, I don't want to just tell you something. I don't want to just project my consciousness into your energy and start pulling things out. We all have traumas. We all have past lives. We all have a lot of deep things going on in the inner psyche, and it is not fun for a psychic. It's not fun for me to go and just explore someone's energy field. Sometimes I unconsciously do it if someone's having a conversation with me and they're bringing up things that either they're struggling with or they've been exploring because they're verbalizing something, and it might trigger a thought or it might trigger a psychic impression. But to just go into someone's energy field and pull something out or predict something for the future, it doesn't really work that way. It's not fun for us, and it actually doesn't benefit you all that much either. It's much better when you come to a psychic and you have some questions, some thoughts, some things that you want guidance on, because then it becomes a very productive and constructive session. It becomes a way of helping guide you through your life instead of something that's just completely random. Also, keep in mind when you say something like, just tell me something, often in that moment, if you're just trying to test a psychic, you are coming forth with an energy, a vibration of doubt, of trying to test someone else's skills. And often that energy kind of gets in the way and it makes kind of a mucky reading. And this is true not only with psychics, but with people in your life, right? If you're in a relationship and you're testing the other person to see what they're going to do and see how they're going to react, that is not a healthy relationship. That's not a healthy way of approaching people in your life. It's not a healthy way of communicating. And that's actually a pattern that you want to cut out, okay? If you're doing that with a partner, with a friend, with a boyfriend or a girlfriend or any kind of relationship, if you're just testing people, not good. It's an unhealthy pattern to be in everyday life, and it's actually a very unhealthy pattern to be in with a psychic or a coach as well, because you're bringing forth an energy where you're going to doubt something, and often the test ends up working out in the opposite favor. It actually has unfavorable outcomes in life and in psychic situations too. So I highly recommend that you come forth with an open mind, an open heart, with open communication, being very transparent and honest, so that as a psychic and in these situations, we can help you the best that we can. Every psychic is going to have different skill sets as well. So keep in mind their background and what they are good at and what they maybe isn't their specialty as well. The more specific you can be with the type of questions that you ask, the better the answers you're going to get. If you come to a psychic and you're just asking a very general question, okay, what's coming in the next month? Or, hey, am I gonna be successful? Well, of course, your guides and your angels are gonna come in. Yes, you're gonna be successful. Hey, you're gonna have a good month, or it's going to be something very simple. But if you come in with a more specific question, you know, I'm deciding between these 2 or 3 careers, and I'm trying to figure out what is the best path for me, for my future. Where will I be happiest? Well, now we have some really good tangible information where we can then start digging into what your programming is and what your soul really wants and desires. And we can come to some really good conclusions and actually help you on your life path in that way. So be more open and specific about your questions, and know that often there isn't always a yes or no, black or white. This path is perfect and this path is not right. Again, we have free will. Destiny is not played out exactly for us. Things are not predestined. So we have lots of choices. And often there are multiple choices that can be really great for you. So be open to knowing and understanding that the answers that you get may not be, yes, do this, no, don't do that. Sometimes there are some really obvious answers like that, but more often than not, there are many shades of gray within the answers that you are going to receive from your readings. It's also very important to just be aware of the psychic's background. Understand where their education is, what their specialty is, and what they're good at. Some psychics have just been working on their own, maybe working one-on-one or had some training here and there, but look at their certifications. Look at where they actually got trained. Look at what their deeper skill sets are. For example, my background is heavy in life coaching. I'm also a hypnotherapist. I've done a lot of work on the subconscious mind with NLP training as well. I've dug deep into the law of attraction work, and I'm currently going through school to get my bachelor's, master's, and PhD in metaphysical sciences, where I'm deep in the metaphysical world. I'm getting feedback, I'm getting training, and I have a very broad knowledge that can help you on your life path. So my experience as a psychic and how you would work with me is going to be very different than someone who just does tarot card readings, maybe hasn't done a lot of channeling. Either they're new or they don't have the background in understanding how the subconscious mind works, how our habits and patterns work, how past life regressions work, and how that influences your life today. So be aware as you work with different psychics to just kind of look at their background and what their skill sets are. Someone like me, I'm going to help coach you in a lot of different ways other than just predictions. That is just a teeny tiny piece of what I do. The bigger picture of what I do is really helping you through every area of your life to master who you are from the inside out, so that you can manifest what you truly want, so that you can up level, follow your intuition, do your own channelings, even if it's just following your intuition or talking with your angels and things like that, to help give you clarity on your life path. I've definitely had some of my students come to me and let me know, hey, I found this person online and they just did a tarot card reading for me and they gave me all these bad predictions and then I didn't know what to do with it. They're like, don't be with this person and A, B, and C. And if that's what you're looking for, that's fine if you just want a prediction. But also know that sometimes those simple tarot card readings and predictions, they don't necessarily help you in a lot of ways. We're not always necessarily meant to know what's coming for us. We're meant to be in the moment and learn how to master ourselves in the here and now so that we create our future, we create our destiny. And that's really when life changes. That's when life opens up for you and heals, and you're able to manifest everything that you desire in your life. It's mastering those kind of skills. So be sure, if you're working with someone, that you're looking for these kind of skill sets that I've developed over the last several years and decade and a half really, to create that kind of foundation so that you can create more of what you desire in your life. If you are interested in working with me, be sure to check out the links below in the description so that you can connect with me for my one-on-one services, my group coaching programs, and upcoming workshops on how to be more intuitive to manifest the things that you desire in your life. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you absolutely loved this episode, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and then also hit that bell so that you get notified every time I have a new episode for you. If you really enjoyed this episode, I also highly recommend that you check out some of these episodes over here. I think you will really enjoy.